Hello and welcome to the channel. It's Erad, and today I've got an exceptional video for you. I'm gonna start Star Citizen with my old account. I'm gonna give you the new player experience, a guide to your very first 100,000 Alpha UEC, which is actually a little bit harder than what it sounds when you are totally new and you have nothing in your account. You have no assets at all. So first, of course, you've got to create a character. So this is here the updated version with some of the hair from Squadron 42. I'm just created something that looks a little bit cool here. So maybe not bald, but we're gonna have a mullet because it's all the rage right now. It starts. There you go, looking absolutely fancy. Maybe a little bit brown like that. All right, perfect. Yes, that's the first thing you need to do, of course, before you start Star Citizen, is create your first character. I'm gonna skip the tutorial here and select here a starting location, and that's gonna be not necessarily Lorville. I'm gonna pick Horizon, and there's a reason why I will pick Horizon. Also, pick the server that's best for you. I live in Taiwan, but I think that Australian servers for me are a little bit more reliable and sometimes less populated depending on my time zone. So here we go, starting right here in my bed, and I'm gonna have to press Y to get out of my bed, just like that. I pressed F4 for the external view, so you can also see your character from outside, but you don't have any UI when you are in external view. So as you can see, I'm starting off with just 1,912 Alpha UEC. I didn't get the 5,000 Alpha UEC referral bonus, but you can find my code in the description down below if you want to sign up and benefit from that extra money. But that's okay, we're not really gonna need that here. The first thing that I'm going to be doing is going to the spaceport, because we're not really going to stay here on Horizon. The reason why I chose Horizon is because I don't really want to be here on Horizon. Actually, I want to be up there in space. I want to be at the station, and that is where I'm going to later set my respawn point. Press, by the way, F to check out whatever you have around here. So in this case, the elevator, and you just select the ground floor or the lobby, so that you can then get to the lobby. And we're gonna rush here, and we're gonna take a shuttle to go to the spaceport. So if you start on Horizon, you can have to turn right like this, and then go all the way until you have this little area here where it gets like some kind of plaza. Nice little looking pinkish environment here. The trees are absolutely wonderful, and the shuttle is already here. That's wonderful. All you have to do is just do nothing and wait until it takes you to the spaceport. It's only one stop away, so you're not going to be wondering whether or not you're there or not. It's just there. Plus, you got also a little interface inside the shuttle that tells you where you're going. So there we have it. This is the entrance of the starport, and we're gonna have another elevator right there on the left. Don't worry about the NPCs, that's normal. In Star Citizen, NPCs do crazy things. Maybe it will get fixed once we have server meshing further down the line later this year. So pressing F here, pressing the button, the door will open. I will go inside, and then I will press, in this case, the starport button here. There we go, we are entering the starport. Now there's a little bit of a transversal area, so you're gonna have to run a little bit, just like that. It's not too long here. This is the rental area. Now that's going to be interesting. We're going to check it out a little bit here. Obviously, all of those ships that you're going to be seeing, I do not have yet, but these could perhaps be your goals that you're going to set for yourself if you want to have something a little bit fancier later when you have more money. I don't really necessarily advise you to take a Dragonfly or Mustang. It's basically, these are starter ships. The 300i is a little bit better than what you're going to be starting with, whereas the Constellation is a little bit more upscale, but you can see here 70,000 Alpha UEC. It's not going to be that easy to get at the very beginning of your experience. But it's not for today. That's probably going to be for another day. Someone had a lot of fun with those bottles. Yes, in Star Citizen, you can place individual items just like that, and they are going to persist in the universe as well. Isn't that wonderful? So, this is the Ace Up terminal. It's going to let you pick up the ship that you have. In this case, I only have one. It is the Pisces Expedition. You need to get your ship delivered first, so that's what we're going to be doing. And then once your ship is delivered, usually it's instantaneous like that, you have to get it into a hangar. In this case, hangar 8. So we're going to go to another elevator here. I think that's our third elevator already. And we are going to go to hangar 8 to get into our ship. So there we go. This is it. Now, for the purpose of this video, I edited the process. It takes a little bit longer normally. So as always, press F for interaction. Press the button to open your ship. Now, maybe you have another starter ship. Let me know in the comment section down below, by the way. What starter ship do you have? Do you have an Aurora, a 100i, or maybe you went a little bit more upscale with a Nomad or an Avenger? Let me know what you guys have. I took the cheapest possible here, the Pisces. Because I really wanted to get the cheapest experience possible and be as you guys experience what you guys would experience as well, because it's very easy to make a 0 to hero type of video when you actually have a lot of assets, but in this case I really wanted to start with absolutely 0. So there we go, pressing space to take off and then W to go forward. And we are going now to basically up here to about an angle of, let's see, I cannot see my angle. I usually try between 70 to 90 degrees to go as quickly as possible here. The atmosphere on this planet is very thick. This is a gas giant, the gas giant planet of Crusader. So you're going to have to go a little bit higher than you normally would to be able to use your quantum jump, which is the means of going faster than light in Star Citizen. And here I'm going to target the space station that orbits in low orbit of the planet here, which is Seraphim Station. It's dead ahead. Now it is already accessible. So I'm going to press the button here to jump quickly. It's a quick jump. It's just about 200 kilometers. And we are going to get into that station right here. We're going to get closer here. We're going to request the landing and then do a nice little landing. So we need to get a little bit closer to be able to request a hangar. The ATC normally would contact us, and it should be that's it here. So to get a hangar, it's Alt, the left Alt, and then N, and then it should be assign you a pad like that. There we go. You can see the icon. So I'm gonna go toward it, and then I'll just nicely but surely do a little landing maneuver. So press N for your landing gear. Don't forget your landing gear, otherwise your landing will not be complete. And you're gonna have to wait for the door to be open and then go inside. Now, be very careful. If this is your first time flying in Star Citizen, I would suggest that you go even slower than what I do here, simply because it's super easy to actually get caught into the momentum of your own ship, and then you'll just crash into the station and you'll die, and you'll have to repeat the process all over again, and it can be quite frustrating, especially at this point where you haven't set your respawn point in the station, which is I'll explain to you later why it's something that that you must do. All right, landing complete. Not the smoothest of landing, but it's done. So pressing Y to leave the seat. It's the same button as leaving your bed earlier. We're going to open the door right here, and we will close it as well. Where's the button? Right there. There we go. Just in case, it's a habit, right? In the past, people could steal your ship. I don't think it's possible to do that anymore, but you know, just in case, it's looking better when your ship is closed. So we're gonna take the elevator right there, and we're gonna get into the lobby of the station. That's it, right here. And gonna have to wait. I wish that there were a little bit of music in the elevator, because this is that's here. I did not edit how it is, so sometimes it can take a few seconds, right? So the next thing that we are going to be doing here is going to the clinic. Now, each major location in Star Citizen has a clinic or hospital. It's a place where you can get some medical services, including also some medical gear in case you get hurt in your many adventures in the verse, but also a place where you can set a respawn point. And you're going to go to this terminal right here, Olympus Principal, which is the insurance terminal. And I'm going to be pressing F here for regeneration. And so every time I'll be dying here, by doing that, transfer imprint, confirm. And so every time I will be dying, instead of respawning at Crusader on Horizon, which is where I was originally at the start of this video, this is where I will be respawning instead. And this is going to save me a lot of time, because I will have access to my ship immediately without going to the shuttle, without having to travel to the shuttle, without taking so many elevators here. It's just going to be 2 elevators and then straight into the hangar, just like that. And then we can be off for our first adventures or first missions, which is going to hopefully get us the first money that we are going to be making in the verse. And to do that, we press F1 here, which is the Moby-Glass. Now, this is the old version of the Moby-Glass. Very soon, there will be a new version of the Moby-Glass. And you have access to a ton of various different types of mission, from deliveries, racing, priority, salvage, maintenance, bounty hunting, mercenary, and search. You can do basically what you want, but if you are starting here, I would suggest you do perhaps those maintenance or those delivery missions. Now, that's what we're going to be doing here, because the delivery missions, they also let us grind a reputation, which will get us more missions, more money in the future. So it's a little bit more interesting here. So I have accepted, as you can see, this delivery mission right there. I'm going to track it so I can see a marker that tells me where the pickup is going to be, and in this case it's going to be on selling. So I've used the Moby-Glass, I've used the quantum drive here. I'm gonna have to put the landing gear away like that. I forgot to press N, and so the quantum drive is up. I have pressed B for that, and so we are going to be going straight to selling here. There we go. I always like how we make our approaches like that towards our moons and planets. It's always something that's incredibly immersive, I think. Same when you have a little bit of the exterior view. This is where you see that Star Citizen is truly a beautiful game. And so we're going to use the quantum drive. Don't fly directly to the location. You can use your quantum drive. Now press B for the quantum drive, and it's going to save you considerable time, and then you will be flying away about 15 kilometers away from your actual location. In this case, it's going to be an Eradicator, where we are going to be picking our very first box. So Selene here is a very interesting moon because it doesn't have an atmosphere. Well, it does, but it's very tiny. So you're going to be going really, really fast here. So you're going to have to be super careful, especially if you have a small ship like a starter ship, because you might as well crash if you don't control your speed. So what I usually do is I reduce speed at about 10 kilometers away from the station or from my destination as we're getting closer. And by the time we arrive here, we should be closer to 200 meters per second, or even less as we are arriving. And now let's get much slower here, starting to land, pressing N for the landing gear. Don't forget that. Looks like we already have some people. That's interesting here. This is a Gatak Sulan that we can see. This is another starter ship, but this is more of an alien starter ship from the Xi'an. Now, I don't recommend this starter ship if you are completely new to Star Citizen, because it has a completely different playstyle, and I made a video about it, so if you're interested, well, I can always put a link in the description down below. Alright, so we are going to enter the airlock. Again, as always, press F on the button. Nice ship, by the way. I love the Gatak Sulan. It's very different from anything you would experience normally. So we're gonna wait for the airlock to start here, and this is our box. Now I'm gonna check see if there are any loot boxes in this shelter. There's absolutely nothing. Nope, just our delivery box. So we're gonna press F here. We're gonna have the prompt for carrying, just like that. And next we are going to go back into our ship and deliver our box. So we haven't made money yet. This is just the very first part of the mission where we just deliver the box. Looks like our friend in the Sulan is gone. That's okay. I'm gonna select my box here, and we can have the option to drop or place. You can just drop it like that. There we go. It just lands on the floor. Usually I like to place it properly, but for the purpose of this video, we're gonna do it quickly, right? It's already a long one, so we'll just drop it. Okay, pressing. By the way, when you land, I usually press I. I turns off the engine, but if you press it again, then it's going to turn on the engines again. Now, there is a bug in Star Citizen in which your ship flies away on its own if you do not turn off your engine. So that's why I would strongly suggest you to do that. And so, what are we going to do next? Well, we are going to be going to our next marker, which is going to show us the place where we are going to be dropping off our box. So I'm looking for it and I cannot find it. It's very typical. Sometimes it's on the other side of the moon. I'm just checking if it is or not, because there's also the marker of the box that is in my ship, so that can also be quite confusing as well. There it is. Yes, it is on the other side of Selene. Now these things happen sometimes but luckily, because it's on the same moon, you can use your quantum drive to just jump directly to it, so that's okay. If this had been on another moon, like for example Yela or Daymar, I would have had to go to an orbital marker, or maybe take another point in space so that I can have another direct trajectory. But in this case, since it's on the same moon, then we don't need to worry about this. So, same procedure here, don't arrive too quickly. And here we're going to be landing at Gallet Family Farms. I have to be careful when you go to these family farms in the verse, because they do not have an armistice zone, so that means that anybody can shoot you. In this case here, I'm not going to worry too much. People are busy doing other things that we talk about in many other videos on the channel, so there should be nobody here. It's also a great place sometimes for looting. You can find some interesting pieces of armor or weapons as well, and we're going to do some looting later. You can see that my character is kind of naked. I only have the basic jumpsuit or the basic flight suit that I had at the very start of the game, but that's not always going to be the case here in this video, and all of that will be done for free without spending a single dime in the verse. So here we go. We are going to open the door right there, and we are going to be making... Oh! Well, I guess that's the end of my ship here. For some reason, it blew up. It can happen, right? There's your Star Citizen experience for you. But that, again, I decided to keep that in the edit of the video, so you can really see the real Star Citizen experience. It's okay. We're going to put it right here in the delivery box right now. It's just a regular drop box. We'll put it inside, and normally it should be the end of this mission. We should have a prompt at the top of the screen that should tell us. There we go. Contract complete, and we are going to be making our very first money right there. 3,000 Alpha UEC. Now we are no longer at just 1,900. We should be much closer to 5,000. I'm also looking for loot boxes here. Looks like I'm being particularly unlucky today. So what I did is I am back at the station. How did I do that? Well, I just pressed escape, went back to the main menu, and came back to the station after, to my respawn point. Now these things do happen, unfortunately, sometimes. So what you're gonna do is you're going to have to claim your ship, as I just did. It's gonna take a little while, a few minutes, but then eventually your ship will be coming back. You can choose to expedite the delivery, which is going to cost you some money, or wait for it to come. If you have a starter ship, in this case a Pisces, it's just going to take about 4 minutes, so it's not really that long. So in the meantime, well, we can still check out the mobiGlas and look for possible missions here. In this case, it's going to be a magic trick. Now, I really like those missions. You're going to find them not in the regular tab, but in the personal tab in your mobiGlas, which are the illegal missions. And you're going to see why these missions are not very legal. Now, I'm not going to do anything wrong here. So what I'm going to do here later will not get me a crime stat, which is a criminal status in the verse. It's not going to get me wanted. I'm not going to have the police after me, but still it's going to be a first introduction to the more shady side of the Star Citizen universe, a side that will sometimes get you in trouble. Anyway, the ship is back. So I went back inside. I didn't go back into the hangar. You already did the process, right? We've got almost 5,000 Alpha UEC, and so this is the mission that I took here, Wasted, which is going to pick up some waste at a shady location, and they just want me to put the trash somewhere else. And these locations, these are usually the drug labs of Star Citizen. So we're going to be landing right here. As always, that's what I like here with the little palaces, is you can land just in front of the stairs. And we're going to go inside. We have 2 packages that they just want me to get rid of. So we'll be doing that here. For 5,000 Alpha UEC, you're actually making more money than if you were doing a regular delivery mission. But the problem is you're not grinding any reputation, so that's a little trade-off here. You can see the place is kind of a mess. This is a terminal here, that red thing where you can buy some drugs. We're not going to be doing that today. I'm just looking for loot boxes. I'm really unlucky today. I saw a couple of drug boxes as well, but we're not going to be picking them up here, because if we do that, we are going to make the Nine Tails, which is the local gang, quite upset. I've done that in the past, picking up the drugs here at those labs, and eventually they get a ship with reinforcement that come and gonna try to kill you. So we don't want that, especially not when we are starting in Star Citizen. So yeah, these are the trash boxes. So we're just going to put them in our ship, and eventually we'll just put them somewhere else. I usually drop them in space or at a random location, and then they're not in the ship anymore. I'm just checking to make sure the ship does not randomly explode this time. It doesn't seem like it is randomly exploding, and that's great. That's what we're asking of it. Alright, we're picking up that box right here as well. Here we go. Cycling now, and we are going to be getting into the ship. So all the trash packages are going to be in the ship right here, but as you can close the ship, I am not getting paid right here because they also want no evidence. They want those packages to completely disappear from the area. So what I'm gonna have to do is go back into my pilot seat and leave the place, usually going back into space, and that is where you're going to get paid. So as again here, pressing I to turn on the engines, space to just get up, and W to move forward. There's a little bit of a stormy weather here on Yela, and as we're getting further and further away, we're going to get back into space, as you can see, and soon we should have the prompt that tells us that, there we go, the objective is complete, the trash has been collected and taken away. And then, you know, just get some money in our account. Should be 5,000 Alpha UEC. There we go. And we are at 10,000 Alpha UEC now. That's definitely much better indeed. All right. So what are we going to be doing next? We got some service beacons here. These are really nice ways to make money here. They're usually quite easy as well, those low threat beacons. You can do them even with the Pisces. I mean, look at that, 7,000 Alpha UEC, 4.5 thousand, 4.4. So we're going to take one here. We're going to take the a low paid one for 4.5 thousand Alpha UEC. You're going to see that it's not going to be that hard, and it's going to be a great way to make some quick money here. I don't think it accepted the mission. Sometimes it did, but it doesn't show because of the server lag. Well, I guess it did. So I have two missions here. I'm gonna have to do them quickly, otherwise that's also going to be pretty bad for my reputation. I cannot find where it is here in front. I think I'm going to go to Daymar first and then go to my beacon. So that's what we're gonna do here, pressing B. And I'm gonna press B again to cancel the trip, just like that, and then I have access straight to the quantum beacon, which is where we're going to be going next. Just making sure the weapons work. The weapons do work. Sometimes they're bugged as well, and they're not working. I've got 4 laser guns, which should normally allow me to dispose of the low tier enemies that we are going to be dealing with in this kind of mission. So, getting a little bit closer here, the white target is the guy that we're supposed to be escorting, so do not target that, target the red guy right here. And we've got some pips here. This is what you want to be aiming at if you want to be doing a little bit of damage. It is just a Mustang that we have to deal with, so it's another starter ship, and you can see that even the basic cheapest thing like the Pisces can easily dispose of a starter ship like a Mustang. Its shields are already down and the main hull is already dead. I try to press see if I can send a missile. A missile has been sent. Pressing the central key here for the central mouse button for the missile. Didn't do much, unfortunately. And boom, target has been eliminated. And well, the guy who ordered our mission here is happy. They are paying us, and look at that, we are up to 15,000 Alpha UEC. We are starting to rake that cash right here. And the most beautiful thing here is there is another one right there. So we're gonna take that other quantum beacon right there, as always, pressing B, and we're going to be jumping straight to it. Here we go. So everything that we did here, well, we're just going to be repeating it. Sometimes the adversaries are a little bit tougher as well, so we will see if that's going to be the case. There might be two, there might be a more difficult one. Sometimes these are traps as well, so you need to be careful too. It's not always going to be easy peasy like what we did here, but in this case it's going to be a little bit more challenging. It's an adventure. This ship here is not worth $45 in the RSI store. This is worth $70 if you have a starter package with it. So yeah, a little bit more upscale, a little bit more dangerous, but nevertheless I think that this is not something that our Pisces cannot do. You can see here its shields are also depleted, and we are going to continue dancing around it, and very soon it's going to be a nice little kill as well. So yeah, be careful here. You have capacitors in just like any other good space simulator in Star Citizen, so you do not have unlimited lasers here. You may be running out of shots, so be very careful with that as well. Almost there. Oh, there we go. I was targeting the cockpit here, and we've got also, so the 500 Alpha UEC here is from another mission that I took. It's called Call to Arms. So every time that you will be taking down enemies, you'll be getting a 500 Alpha UEC bonus. So pretty nice here. We're already up at 20,000 Alpha UEC. Can we take another one here? Can we take a more difficult combat beacon, this time for 7,500 Alpha UEC? Yes, we are going to be trying this out. And we are going to be jumping right next to it. Now you can see the radar, there's still the buggy, the red target. Now that's because there's a mechanism in Star Citizen called soft death. Soft death is when the ship is destroyed, but the ship is, I would say not destroyed, but the ship is damaged enough so that it cannot be operated, but it's not destroyed yet. But it's still considered a kill. So that's still gonna be helping me. So we have here a Mustang. All right, I think that this is the only buggy. No, we have two buggies. You can see here two hostiles. So maybe this could explain why this combat beacon is more expensive. And I just died. Ah, yes. Now, what happened here? This is something that will happen to you eventually. I crashed into the ship, unfortunately. This was an accident. These things happen. And so this is the very reason why I set my respawn point at Seraphim Station. You are going to see why. That's because I'm going to be respawning at Seraphim Station, and it's going to save me several times. There we go. So this is the medical bed. Now, what's happening here? I am in a medical gown. So this is the equipment that you have when you wake up at the hospital. This clone here, this body that I have is my clone. It's not the same. It's not the same body as I have, but somehow my spirit is still the same. Now in the hospital, we're going to get rid of the medical gown. You can put it in the inventory. Put a new suit here, which is, we call it the noob suit. That's the jargon in Star Citizen. And same old, I'm going to have to claim the ship right here. And, well, unfortunately, it's going to take a little while. Now, I have gone back. For some reason, the combat beacon is still out there. And I'm looking for the opponents. There are still some buggies. I can't believe that they are still alive for some reason. So I'm going to try again right here. This time I will try not to crash into those ships. They don't seem to be responsive. I think that this is the Mustang that crashed into me. It looks like it's damaged enough so that it doesn't do anything. Well, good for me. It's gone. And now there is still the other one here. Here we go. We are going to be destroying. It's another Mustang. Now this one seems to be operating and seems to be fully functional. Again, as I said, your goal here is to destroy it and not ram it by accident. So be extra careful right when you are flying a ship in Star Citizen. I got really lucky that the mission was not cancelled, because when that happens, when you are losing... Ooh, that was close here. When that happens, you are also losing some reputation, your ranking decreases, and you're also losing some opportunities, or you're not gonna get missions that pay as well as this one here. Here we go. Our target has been destroyed, and the combat assistance should be a success very soon. There we have it here. Contract complete, low threat, and we should be seeing the money coming up right there. 659 Alpha UEC. Time will be here to pick up another one. We are 26,000 Alpha UEC. So what are we going to be doing next? Well, why not another delivery mission here? Now this one here, this one is a more advanced delivery mission. This is a delivery mission with 2 boxes to pick up here. So our first package is going to be right there. Aha! Now look at this here. This is interesting. What you are looking at is a loot box, and inside we can loot things. Here I'm looting some flight suits, which are definitely looking better than the noob suit that I have. And so let's see if they are. Aha, there's another loot box right here. Now usually the red ones are the ones that have more interesting things, but you can also pick up stuff from the other loot boxes here. In this case, I'm picking up some clothes, I'm picking up some water as well, because yes, in Star Citizen, you have to drink, you have to eat, and it's very annoying when you have to go to a shop and get that by yourself. What if you can loot that at an outpost, then you don't need to buy those, right? And it's saving you considerable time. I usually recommend the cruise bottles because they can also hydrate you and also feed you a little bit at the same time. Apples are also a very good way to do that. They are very hydrating as well. No other loot boxes here, but our delivery box is right there. Now, what do I have here? This is also something that I looted a little bit earlier. This is a multi-tool. Now, multi-tools can be looted in those boxes as well. So all you have to do is just equip them. And if you have a tractor beam that you also can loot at these outposts, then you can use the multi-tool to just there we go, pick up a box instead of carrying it. Now in this case it doesn't seem to be working very well, so I'm just going to pick it up here with my bare hands. Now normally it works well, but the servers can be a little bit laggy, unfortunately. So wow, that means that the server has a low response rate. Sometimes your actions are instantaneous, sometimes they are not. In this case, they are not. Well, that's okay, right? So this is the second package. I've already have a first package that I've already picked up here. So we're going to just place it inside the ship. There we go. And we are going to go to our next location, which is going to be the delivery location. So landing the ship right here, and so we're going to be picking up some of well, these boxes and just drop them off. So I have to check exactly which one needs to be dropped off. All right, let's see if we can use the multi-tool. No, we cannot. It really doesn't want to. Well, that's okay. We can always carry them. I just hope that the boxes are not bugged. Come on, carry them. Oh dear, it doesn't want to be carried. There we go. You can see here, yeah, the action took a little bit of time. I'm quite worried here. I'm quite worried about the status of, yeah, there's definitely a little bit of lag here. I got back in front of the stairs. I am quite worried about the status of this delivery mission. And again, I could be editing this out for you guys, but I want to show you the true experience. This is something, if you're a new player, there's a free flight experience right now in Star Citizen. This is what you will be experiencing, and that's something that you should be expecting at this point. All right, the first delivery is done. We're going to have to do the second one. I'm looking for loot boxes, as always. And looks like when I have something to show, I am being unlucky. Okay, well, this is the second delivery location, still on yellow. You can see the beautiful ring here, and we're going to place it right there. Is it going to work? No, it's getting back into my hands. Then we're going to place it right. We're going to try again. I saw a delivery. I saw a loot box, by the way. We're going to place it here, and it doesn't work. And unfortunately, this is something that's quite recurrent at this stage in Star Citizen right now. Delivery boxes are in a pretty bad stage here. So what I did, the mistake that I did, well, it's not really a mistake, it's the game making mistakes here in this case, is I took a multi-delivery mission. Don't do that, because usually after you finish your first delivery, you can see the first delivery did work, but the second one here is not going to work. So I'm just going to abandon or untrack here. And I'll just abandon the mission and do something else. Yeah, it's a bust, unfortunately. These things happen, but it's something that is to be expected from time to time. All right, so I am back here at Seraphim Station, quite close here, close enough to request a landing. And this is what I'm going to do, guys. So you can see that I've looted quite a bit of things, and I'm going to put everything back into the local inventory. And once we're here, well, you can choose to keep those things, or you can sell them, and that's what we're going to be doing later. But not just now, of course. I still have many things to do. If I go to the station and sell them, I'm wasting some time, and I don't want to do that. Here, I'm going to do something completely different. I'm going to do my favorite activity in the verse, guys. This is a bunker mission. So I've got a helmet here that I looted at one of the outposts earlier. This is a 40% helmet. And I don't have any weapon here. So I'm going to use the tractor beam to attract a weapon that I see eventually somewhere. Now, there can be some NPCs right here. This is a dead NPC. And I will drag him closer to me. Is there any gun here? No, I'm gonna drag another corpse right there. Maybe they have something that I could be interested in. Any weapons? Yes. Yes, this is what I wanted. Alright, this is a weapon. It's a P4. Pretty effective weapon, actually. And that's going to be the only thing that I have. I don't even have any ammo or anything. But maybe I'll be able to grab stuff from those NPCs that I'm going to loot right here. So stay behind the boxes so that they don't see you. I'm picking up any random armor, medical pens as well. The legs, there we go. I'm happy with my helmet, so I'm gonna keep the helmet here. Okay, these are ammo here. So these are P4 ammos from the weapon that I have right there. And we're not gonna waste any time. Let's equip this here. Alright, so now I have the P4 with 30 bullets inside, plus 60 in the additional ammunition that I have. This is a hostile right here, because friendlies have a marker on top of their heads. Is it not dead? No, he's not. Yeah, they don't know I'm here. They haven't seen me yet. Yeah, he was attending to a friendly corpse of his. They usually don't look for the entrance of the bunker. Sometimes they do, but in this case, their mind is attracted to something else. There they are right there. See if there's anything here in the front. No, we can see them moan. We can hear them moan. That's a good sign, because they're dying, but there's still 5 of them. And they are probably at the on the upper floor. So it looks like this floor here is clear. Always go behind those pillars just to make sure no one's there. If you can loot some stuff, in this case, if I can loot some PR ammo, that's great, because these can be depleted quite quickly. Getting medical pens as well, just in case I get shot. And we're gonna go upstairs, see if we find anything. Not yet. They could be in the server room. So we're gonna go in the server room, see if there's any hostility or hostiles. Let's go right there. I don't like the noise here, but yeah, it is what it is. No, nobody is here. Alright, I was also looking for loot boxes at the same time, because you can have some really cool weapons sometimes. Now let's go up here. I do not see anybody here. That's a problem. Wait, there's one right down there. So he was at the lower floor. Alright, well, 4 out of 10. Let's see if anybody is hiding in that part of the bunker. Nope. Oh, that's a lot of boxes. My goodness, what happened here? Someone must have done another mission before in that bunker, and some of the boxes from that previous mission are still lingering here. Oops, my bad, this was an accident. Now, if you're doing PvP, don't do that, because that's going to be giving away your location. So there was another hostile NPC down there. I wonder if there are some more. No, they're not hiding here. They're not hiding here. Now I'm playing with. If you're wondering why I'm shooting, it's an accident. I'm playing with not a notebook, but a laptop. Yeah, unfortunately, I don't have a desktop, and sometimes the touchpad is accidentally touched. So that's why. Yeah, that's why it's shooting. So looks like the other NPCs are not here. Now, obligatory here, I'm going to complain about it in the chat, of course. Classic rage. These things are, unfortunately, bugs that do happen in Star Citizen as well. You may be doing some bunker missions and the NPCs are not spawning. Does it happen a lot? No, it does not happen a lot. I just happen to have been unlucky here in that particular case. Let me know in the comment section down below. Maybe some of you are old school Star Citizen players. Do you often have this bug where NPCs are not spawning? I would say that this is happening maybe 5%. 5% of the time, right? I would say the huge majority of bunker missions that I do have all of their NPCs, but occasionally there may be a bug missions with NPCs that are not spawning. I think that this is the case here. But again, as always, I'm trying to show you things that are, really happening. If this is happening to you as you are starting the game, don't get too surprised. Well, you can have another opportunity to make money later for the line. And so, well, since there are no NPCs, what am I going to do here? Well, I'm going to be using the tractor beam, and I will be bringing all of those weapons right here on the elevator. But not just the weapons. Well, it just clipped through the elevator. I'm being really unlucky today. Well, in this case, we're going to try to bring the corpses, perhaps? Alright, so do not bring the corpses of the hostile NPCs, only the security forces, because otherwise, if you bring the hostiles, then the people who are inside, well, they are wanted, and so the turrets will be shooting you as well, and you do not want that. So, a C-54... It's not really worth a lot of money, but it could be interesting. It's clipping here? No, it's not clipping. Okay, so it's staying on the elevator. Now, I'm spending a little bit of time doing that, but you can see later that it's definitely going to be worth it. So this is another security officer that we are bringing with us. Now, with a multi-tool and the tractor beam attached, you just press the left mouse button. All right, now we are back here at the top floor, and the gun is stuck. I guess the gun is stuck here, and so as you can see, I'm going to bring everything back into the ship. Now, for the purpose of this video here, I've already edited most of the process. See, these guys are in my ship. I'm going to put the guns into the inventory of the ship, just like that. So press I. I is the inventory system here, and just drag the objects that are around you into the inventory of the ship. I think that there's another gun that I saw right there. A couple of guns here. So we're going to be doing the same here with this Devastator shotgun, which is not necessarily the type of gun that I would equip for myself, but definitely it is going to be worth a little bit of money later. Remember, guys, that in this video, we are making our first 100,000 Alpha USC. Despite all the issues that the game has, despite all the pitfalls, despite all the bugs, we're still going to be able to make it. So, putting the entire undersuit in the inventory, you can see this guy is naked, he's in underpants. We cannot take his underpants yet. And once again, we're going to be doing the same right there. Putting the undersuit. It's loading a little bit here. The undersuit right here. And it's all in the ship. Same with the weapons that he has. Putting him in the ship. He's got nothing. And before we finish, I also got rid of the corpses. And so what do we do next? We go to the station. This is Seraphim Station. And we go to the Galleria. And at the Galleria, you're going to be finding the armor and weapon terminal. And you can see sell here. These are all the things that I have looted a little bit earlier. You can see that I was at 27,000 Alpha UEC. And I'm going to do some quick sales here. And that's going to be much more money. There you go, 30,000. And so all the time that we have spent earlier doing all this looting, well, all I'm going to have to do here is just sell everything. So we started at 27,000 Alpha UEC. I think I got a little extra money earlier from Call to Arms when I killed some of these NPCs at the bunker. And so when we finished selling everything that we could sell, we moved up to 40,000 Alpha UEC. So yeah, that was a pretty good deal here. Pretty nice. And although we did not make the money that we should have made earlier, we still made a little bit of cash, right? And Casaba Outlet, well, here they're going to be selling some clothes. Remember when I took all those hats at some of the outposts, I also took some clothes. Well, here is where you can sell them as well. That jacket here is really worth quite a bit of money. Don't worry if sales failed, you're still going to be selling it right there. Let's sell the hat here, 140 Alpha UEC. I mean, it doesn't look like it's a lot, but when you have a lot of them, then it starts to become a lot too. Now, don't need to sell all those bottles here because we're going to be using them later too. So there we go. We moved from 26,000 to 42,000, and I look pretty good as well. I kept some of the loot from that bunker, and I'm starting to look like something here. So I'm quite happy here with my progress. But we have not made 100,000 of our UEC yet, unfortunately. But we could very soon here with this investigation mission. Now, I could have taken this mission a little bit earlier, but I think that you need to get a little bit more familiar with some of the game mechanisms in Star Citizen. You know, learn how to land properly. Sometimes it can get a little bit dangerous. You may see some NPCs or hostiles, so knowing how to fight as well can also come in handy. So that's why I would not suggest you do this mission at the very start. I would suggest still to do some of the delivery mission, the garbage missions, and then after you go to some of these bunkers here. I'm just checking to see if there are any hostiles. It doesn't look like they are. Press, by the way, long press V, and that's going to do a ping here, which is going to show you what the radar is seeing. In this case, the radar did not pick anything, so that's okay. So we have to look for somebody in particular, a corpse, so that then their family can benefit from the health insurance of that particular individual who might be deceased here in that crashed caterpillar. Picking my gun here that I got earlier. I don't have a lot of ammo left, unfortunately. Some boxes. Could these boxes be interesting? Well, let's pick up here the multi-tool. Let's see what this is. Quartz. No, quartz is worth nothing. Agricultural supplies. This is also worth nothing. So yeah, those boxes, if they're not, like, let's say if it's not gold or something really that's really worth a lot, just don't pick them up. It's just a waste of time. Okay, we've got an NPC right here. He doesn't even have a helmet, so let's search. And I cannot search, so I guess that this is not our guy here. Yeah, that's probably not the guy that we're looking for. I'm going inside. This is Florin. Florin, not really interested. I mean, if you have like a large trading ship, you can trade Florin from one station to another. This is what my buddy Segalian likes to do. But yeah, this is not what we're going to be doing with the Pisces. I saw some trash as well. We're not going to pick up trash here. Oh, pieces of armor. Armor core. Well, you know what? We might as well make a little bit more money than anticipated here, because I can always pick up this piece of armor and then sell it later at the station. As you can see, that's what we did earlier with what we picked up earlier. This is more quartz here. Not really interested. Now remember, what we're looking for is a corpse. But for some reason, I cannot find it. Now, the good thing about being on the moon like that is you can really use the low gravity and go around much easier. Just do a couple of jumps, which is going to give you access to parts of the ship that you normally would not have access to on the higher gravity world, say for example Hurston or Microtech, that you're probably going to be visiting later. Oops, looks like we are inside the ship. Oh, that's a little bit of a little glitchy here. Oops. It shouldn't be like that, but I guess it is. Now we're going to be going inside the ship here as well. Sometimes the corpses are inside. Yeah, I just cannot seem to be finding it here. This is the same guy from earlier, right? Yeah, I think it is. Just a different angle. Yeah, so searching him is not going to be doing anything. Up, there you go. He is naked now. At least we took his undersuit, and I'll be bringing it back in the ship as well. You know, there's no little money here when you're trying to make your first 100,000 of UEC. So we'll just drop it here. It doesn't work. Well, if I place it, is it gonna work? Yeah, placing it is working. Okay. Looks like more stuff is popping in. This is really weird. Okay, so I'm getting armor as well. Okay, cool. Well, bringing in the ship. Come on, come back here. I mean, I'm not finding the corpse. At least I'm finding some stuff that I will still be making money from. It's gotta be somewhere. Alright, so back in the ship. Usually there's like always a pilot in the cockpit. I'm so surprised to see no pilot in the cockpit here. Yeah, in previous missions, when it's been a long time. I have to say it's been a long time. I haven't done those missions in years, actually. But back in the days, back in 3.4, 3.5, 3.6, was probably the last time I did some of those missions. There were crews in those constellations. Oh, I made a mistake. It's not a. Could be this guy. Yes, I found him. There he was. He was on the side right here. All right, so we found him. He is indeed dead here. And so we are going to be earning that cash. Oh my goodness, 18,000 Alpha UEC plus what we're going to be selling a little bit later. We could be eyeing at an extra 20,000 Alpha UEC. That's very nice. All right, we've got the undersuit, the armor, and the arms, all of that into the ship. This box here is not selectable. Yes, it is. All right, there's another one right there. Well, yeah, we could be looking at maybe an extra 1,000, 1,005. So 60,000 now. We are at 60% of the way. And so I'm going to have a look also at some of my reputation here. I got a little bit of reputation with deliveries. We could be doing some mercenary missions, which we have done, but we haven't done the bounty hunting missions. Now, these missions, they're not going to be that easy with the Pisces, right? Because sometimes you have to deal with tough enemies, with really serious ships here. But we're going to try it anyway with a Pisces, guys. Let's not be afraid. And let's take our very first bounty hunting mission, because, well, these bounty hunting missions, they can generate some interesting loot that can allow you to make even more money in the future. So there we have it. Our first mission is about 100,000K, but we're going to be doing that later. First, I want to make sure that I get something to drink, because I'm only at 71%. It's really not that much. Can I put it inside my undersuit? No, I need to drink it right here. I'm going to remove my undersuit. Quick buy here. Come on, here we go. And that's it. So the reason why I choose a crux here is because, as I said earlier, it's going to replenish not just your thirst gauge, but also your hunger gauge. A little bit, at least. And it's also one of those drinks that are quite effective. Like, you're not going to have to drink very quickly as soon as possible. So, yeah. So, this is not really working. That's why I cannot wait for the new personal interface system that's coming up with Star Citizen over 3.23. Because, yeah, before that, the old one is not working so well. So there we have it. Just press, once you have the bottle in your hand, just press the left mouse button and you can see your character by pressing F4. The exterior view, you can see your character drinking here, quenching his thirst. That feels pretty nice, I suppose. And then once we are done, you're going to be able to see the gauge that will be full. I try to get rid of the bottle, but I can't. So I guess that I can equip something else. Maybe can I put it in my inventory? It doesn't really work. Now, if I unequip my gun, I should be able to re-equip. Let's see. I also want to be as effective as possible, because I want to have the ammo that I need. Anyway. Anyway, this is done. I don't know what I was trying here. So, we are back in space here. My gauge thirst is full, and we have our very first buggy here. Oh, we have 2 buggies. Then that's going to be tough here. I'm going to try to select here. It's a Hornet. Oh my, that's going to be really tough here. A Hornet versus a Pisces. I'm not going to have a lot of chances. I'll try not to crash into that Hornet. I'm going to try not to get too many shots as well, because this is a fragile ship here, this Hornet. Now, luckily, this is a much more maneuverable... Oop. As I was going to say, this is a much more maneuverable ship than a Hornet, but unfortunately, I was not careful, and I crashed onto the surface. So, you know what I did here, in this case. Oh, there are a lot of ships here. So I'm trying to come back and kill my buggy, but unfortunately there seem to be much more ships than I originally thought. I think that somebody else must have taken a bounty hunting mission. I'm trying to look for my corpse because I really had a nice piece of armor here, and I'm going to try to go back and pick it up. But yeah, I'm being sent some missiles here. This is not really good. Trying to use some decoys here. Press J, by the way, to do that. That didn't work so well. So as you can see, bounty hunting mission with a starter ship. Unless you're a really good pilot, but I'm not. Everybody's been telling me, Erad, you're a terrible pilot. I'm giving you guys the new player experience, right? So that's what it is here, unfortunately. No bounty hunting. We're gonna do something else instead. And as you can see, I'm landing right here by an outpost, and this is another delivery mission. Yes, a single delivery mission. I learned from the mistake before, do not take multi-delivery mission. The reason why I do that, once again, you can see I'm back in a noob suit because I died. I was not able to recuperate all the inventory that I lost, unfortunately. It was just too dangerous, right? At Pisces, where there's so many of those more advanced ships with all of those missiles. There's just nothing that I could do. I could not land there and pick up anything for my corpse, which eventually disappeared. So, back to the basics here, back with a regular delivery mission. At least I did not lose any money by doing so. So, since it's a single delivery mission, this one should work. There we go. We have learned from our mistake. And let's see if there's anything that we can pick inside. I'm looking for boxes. Is this one here? Yes, it's a red one as well. I could get really lucky there. Let's see what's inside. Oh, nice. Nice piece of armor here. I think this is 40% leg armor. Well, I look like I only have pants. I absolutely look terrible like that. But yeah, a piece of armor is a piece of armor. And maybe we'll find some more. Let's see. Well, there could be some clothes here. Multi-tool. Oh my gosh, it has a tractor beam. So I'm back here. I'm back with a multi-tool, and I'm back with a tractor beam. Oh, it doesn't want to equip the tractor beam for some reason. Well, I'll just put it in my leg inventory here. Sometimes, yeah, you're just wondering why the game is not working, why you have... It's just the servers are bad. And there is a mining tool as well. Now, this could also be a great way to be making some extra cash too. So we're going to be doing that probably. And I'll be showing you a couple of extra ways to get closer to the mark of 100,000 Alpha UEC. Yeah, the bottle of water here, very useful just in case our characters get hungry. And that's pretty much here in the local inventory. Yeah, that thing here. Oh, that's the salvage tool. No, we don't want the salvage tool. That's okay. Okay, I got a tractor beam tool. All right, that's all I need. Perfect. There's one more room here to check out, see if there's anything that we can loot. There is a loot box here. Let's see what's inside. Okay, it's got some clothes here, a shirt. We'll be able to sell that at Casaba Outlet later. And an apple. I like apples. Can I put that in my In my pants, yes, now those big pants, those big armor here, leg armor, they can carry a lot, so that's great. Alright. I think that we're done here at this outpost, and we're gonna be able to do other things. Let's go back into the ship. Did I leave anything here? No, I did not. Alright, so I was able to loot a mining tool, and this could be very well our ticket to get to the 100,000 Alpha UEC mark here. So let's go back here. And to be able to do that, probably I'm gonna have to look for a cave. And what better cave than the cave that's already marked on your mobiGlas, and that is a cave that is located on Daymar. First, I want to see if there's anything that I can do. Mercenary. I mean, I could be doing other deliveries, but that's not really interesting. Multi-delivery missions, you know that we all know how bugged they are, right? So that's a shame. But usually when you do that, try to have the same delivery location so you don't really waste your time. There aren't any places where I am already, so that's okay. I guess I have another quick delivery before we do the rest here. Tribes and mayors. It's gonna be right here. Probably this was a quick and dirty delivery. So I can make some quick bucks before. Let's see if there's anything else that we can loot. Nope. Getting unlucky this time. That's okay. Next. Next, I am going to get a backpack. I'm gonna make an investment here before we go mining. So I got 65,000 Alpha UEC, which is money that I got from that delivery that I just did here. And I'm gonna get a torso first. Get something cheap, right? Something that's not gonna cost too much money, but something that still looks good. Like this Max Flex core here. Which is ironic, because that's the one that I sold earlier when I did the investigation mission. I could have kept it for myself. Yeah, you can see there's quite a bit of difference between the money you were making when you were selling armor and the money that you spend when you were buying armor. But yeah, I didn't know that I would be finding a multi-tool with a mining attachment. But that's okay. I mean, it's just going to be a couple of rocks, and then we'll be able to definitely make up for that little investment here. By the way, this is the very first time that I'm spending money for myself in the verse, right, in this playthrough. So I kind of feel a little bit emotional here. My first purchase, yes. Okay, so I went for the core sea green here. Right, so it's got 20%, but that's gonna be enough to get a backpack. The Borzov backpack, no, that's a bit too much here. We're just gonna get a basic backpack, which is gonna be enough to carry some gems. Just like that. Okay, so I'm going to equip it now. I look absolutely terrible with 20% torso armor and 40% leg armor, but that's okay. Alright, I think that we're good to go. So, now we are going to Daymar. This is another moon here that we haven't been to. This is like the third moon around Planet Crusader, and you can see there is a cave right there. I am at Kudre Ore. This is the mine right next to Kudre Ore. You can see how deep that thing goes. It has several levels. You could go straight here if you want, or you could go even lower, and that's what we are going to do, because I think that there is much more to do at the lower levels. Still interesting. Yeah, I really wonder how deep this goes here, but yeah, we're not gonna go there. We'll keep on going deep here. You can go with a little ship, by the way, and you can even go with a small ground vehicle. Alright, so about to land right here. Softly, let's not crash, that would be very silly. And here we go. Next, I'm going to try to find a node that will let me find some useful rocks that I can make money off. So not too big, otherwise if they are too big, I'm not going to be able to use the mining tool. This is where you need, for example, a grey cat rock. Let's see if this should be okay. This one, it looks like it is Haydenite. Haydenite is really what you want to be mining in those kind of cases because it's the type of rock that just is going to be making you the most money. So just press here the left button mouse, the left mouse button, and go until the gauge is inside the green, and then you are eventually going to break the rock apart and put all of these rocks into, in this case I'm lucky because it's Kudre ore, so I can put everything into the local inventory, otherwise you put them into your backpack. And you do that until you think that you have enough of these rocks, and then you are going to go back to the station, and that's where you will be selling all those rocks here, which are going to be worth quite a little bit, as you're going to see. Now, there is a bug as of right now, and you have to, if you have those minerals stacked, you have to unstack them one by one. It's super annoying. But then once they're all unstacked, after a while, of course I saved that for the purpose of the video, you're not going to see that, but as you can see here, finally we've made it. We are at 102,000 Alpha UEC. We did it, the first 100,000 Alpha UEC in my game in Star Citizen, at least using my alt account, which had nothing at all. Well, so there we have it, guys. This is how you can make your first 100,000 Alpha UEC. After that, you know, the choice is yours. Are you going to rent a ship, perhaps? Are you going to be buying more equipment? That is entirely up to you. As far as I'm concerned, I would probably rent a more expensive ship, like a freelancer or maybe even a constellation, and do some bounty hunting mission, some combat mission that I would not be able to do with just a Pisces. That is all for this video, guys. Thank you so much for coming here today. If you enjoyed it, let me know with a thumbs up. If you want to see more Star Citizen content, subscribe to the channel. A big shout out to my Patreon and YouTube members, including Deplorable Infidel, Zero Crusher, Dr. Falbin, and Ducky to Ducker. I've been Irad, and I'll see you guys in the next one.